Time they congratulate us, goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight. I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stock my bad kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The Alpha and Omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the south out my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel, that's probably baffling. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertip like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles. Without a tango, tailor-made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser. I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's hear we eatin', talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the band, young Chris a king, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great.
The NFL on EA Sports brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Hey, can.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
He's not going to get me. 11 mighty.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Burrow. Open man is Higgins. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
And some room to maneuver. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Samaje Perine, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion. And that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Taylor now returning it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Here we go. Stop. Right 80. Right hot. 11 empty. 11 empty. Stop.
Play action. It's Burrow. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown. Jamar Chase, 48 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
McPherson now for the extra point. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Rodgers now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Taylor now to return it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go. 180. 12.
First down. Here's Burrow. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
2. 11, Tommy.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey, we got 3 down.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Rolling to his left. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Rodgers now on first down. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there, maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go play action with Burrow. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
36. Hey, watch it.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
Petty don't matter. Far as the teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. No boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey. That might give you life advice. Get some money. 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 It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster. Down a cold NASCAR. My solo, no sir, I am not a passer. I will not be after any of you people blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey. Not that. That might give you life advice. Get some money. 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 Get some money.
The NFL on EA Sports brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati.
Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Cincinnati.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Big 13. 11.
He's coming, double up.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They will throw on first down with Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst.
On the move past the 40.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
11 more on that one and another first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Mixon.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Mixon again.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
7 yards there and a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Lazard.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers.
He finds his receiver, Watson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
6-0 our score after one.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And he's got Hurst, his tight end.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
On third down, Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this will stay a one-score game as the lead will hold at 6. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You called that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there. I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And some room to roam now. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Joe Mixon
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So 2 touchdowns for him on the ground in this first half, and that one a thing of beauty.
And just like his last touchdown run, we saw him be patient. How about his vision where he's able to identify where the opening was? And then how about the escort right down the field all the way to the end zone from his blockers?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead now stands at 13.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with...
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Von Bell.
And the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 70 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go, here we go. Ready? Rise up.
Check 25. Watch safety 3.
Burrow on play action. Sliding out of the pocket.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Joe Mixon
On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And crossover out of bounds right at the 25. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Buying time to his left. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Continued struggles here in the second quarter, and to me, you can pin a lot of them on an inability to convert 3rd downs. Add that most recent incompletion to the list of examples.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown.
Robert Tonyan, as the first half is winding down. And the Packers are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half.
Crosby with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he's got room.
And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Burrow on first down.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
12.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase.
As time expires in the first half.
And the Bengals would extend their lead here just before halftime.
You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
On play action, it's Rodgers.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Here's a give to Jones running left. And some room to work. 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
67 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Bengals grab it.
All right, partner, this is where I get to show my age. Because I remember when the strip sack kind of came into vogue, where defenders were taught not just to make the tackle, but do that little extra, try and jostle the arm of the runner and knock it free. And that's what we just saw there.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Burrow looking to pass. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now Burrow.
Throw left side, complete to Chase.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he's got some space here. There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Joe Mixon,
55 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Nixon now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
187 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because to me, You can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. He finds Watson complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. What a catch at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals will take over here at their own 12-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Boy, 208 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Here we go.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Mixing up the middle. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to, and if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers looking for Tunyon on the crosser, and he's got it complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On 1st down, Rodgers. Cobb goes laying out for that one, and he has it. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays...
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Open man, here is Cobb. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second half shutout.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.